The nation is at a turning point. A global financial and economic meltdown, two unfinished wars that threaten to leach into Pakistan and Syria, challenges from Russia and Iran, growing evidence that climate change and its catastrophic effects are accelerating, a torn social welfare net through which more people are slipping, inadequate and costly health care, an educational system that is not adequate for the economy of the 21st century. The kinds of people who might be advising the new president recognize the urgency.
It's a very troubled world and probably going in the wrong direction by and large in a number of areas.
We don't have any more time to keep diddling around and waiting for someone else to go first.
The very top priority, I think, is to assure that the financial system of the country is functioning.
Most people don't understand how serious the problems are.
Healthcare is in crisis, just as our economy is in crisis. We simply must act as a nation.
But where to start?
At this point, the top of the agenda has to be the global financial crisis. He doesn't have any choice. Nothing else that he wants to do in his tenure will be doable if we have a true global depression.
You have to rethink your priorities in a situation like this, and you have to make sure that the recession doesn't hurt too much, because the more it hurts, the more damages to the financial system, the harder it is going to be to recover, and the more your debts are going to weigh on you.
That means more economic stimulus. And there is no shortage of proposals.
A package of $450 billion spent over 3, 4, 5 years seems to me to be the best way forward in these most difficult circumstances.
You want to make unemployment benefits available to people. You want to boost things like the food stamp program. What better time, really, to make investments in infrastructure?
Do I hear 150? 150? Do I hear 200? And it ratcheted up from 150 to $300 billion in a matter of days. Congress is chomping at the bit to pass the stimulus right now.
Unfortunately, all the short-run spending will come back to haunt a country that has been living on its credit cards for years. $1 trillion deficit and debt approaching $11 trillion, and looming Medicare and Social Security crises.
The first baby boomer will retire in President-elect Obama's first term. So we're going to have to deal with the Medicare financing problem.
The unfunded liability for Medicare is the lowest I've heard is $36 trillion. The highest I've heard is $68 trillion.
You want to think about investments you can make in the short run to build an infrastructure that will allow us to buy health care far more efficiently and allow us to bend that cost growth curve over time.
Part of the reason to get control of these costs is that we have underspent on our infrastructure and our schools, both of which are failing to keep pace with the needs of the 21st century.
Over the last 20 to 30 years, we've created such a huge deficit in much of our public infrastructure. Plus, if we're building infrastructure that is really going to make possible this new energy future, we're going to have to be investing it closer to the 3% of GDP that we were in the immediate post-war years.
Figure out a way to end the economic segregation of students. Right now, students from low-income backgrounds are educated separately and unequally from middle-class kids.
But we live in a world of constraints. One that we have largely ignored is global warming, which scientists agree is now accelerating towards a tipping point. Where to start?
Well, we can go on this path to solve the climate problem if the president gets up and says, this is as important to me as going in and taking care of the Middle East or the financial crisis.
Tell the world in no uncertain terms that the United States will participate in forming a global agreement.
The upside of aggressively addressing global warming is that it would reduce dependence on imported oil and help America reconnect with the rest of the globe, a bond that was badly damaged by the unilateralism of the Bush years. Some of that was Iraq. Some was the refusal to sign Kyoto and other agreements, and some was the gap that we let open between our actions and our values.
We have done things in terms of security that we didn't do in the darkest days of the Cold War.
What the Bush administration has done by torture, by rendition to torture, by thumbing their nose at the Congress, has significantly diminished the American support in the rest of the world.
Barack Obama ran as an agent of change. he's got a lot of work to do.